Today we have technology that has revolutionized the way people watch TV, but it wasn't that long ago that television production looked a whole lot different. Now a collection of old broadcasting equipment has made its way back here to CKPG, courtesy of an old friend.
To grab onto. You ready?
If it comes from the back of a truck, then it must tell a story.
This is one of, if not the original, but second generation cameras that CKPG was using.
They just don't make them like this anymore, where the line between signal strength and the strength of two men gets fuzzy.
A lot of the weight associated with the cameras was mechanical stability because they couldn't produce it electronically. There's actually a Vidicon tube in it, which is vulnerable to vibration and that. So what they couldn't make up with electronically or in the digital era, they made up with weight and mechanical stability.
It's been a long time since these relics have seen the light of day or studio. But 3.5 decades ago, this dusty old equipment was cutting edge, state-of-the-art, and ahead of its time.
You know, back when I was a young kid in Prince George watching the news, you know, in the early 70s, mid 70s, and to know that this camera was capturing those shots, it's really kind of neat.
This is a black and white camera too, keep in mind. A color camera was 3 times this.
We've come a long way since the days of 1-inch magnetic tape and TV time for the pop shop and Woodwards. But like HD, 3D, and reality TV, broadcast electronics have changed the way we consume entertainment.
I think I've been fortunate enough to work in probably one of the most fascinating times in electronics and broadcasting and communications, where we've seen it evolve from this to what you have today.
To see the equipment back in a live studio, you can't help being taken back in time to when changing the channel meant getting up and turning the dial.
I think it only had it had 2 channels. It was actually a stereo. That was probably pretty advanced, 2 audio channels.
For Gord, who knows more about this stuff than Wikipedia does, the future of broadcast electronics in the 70s was right there.
You know, there was a time where I could see the dream of how small or how light broadcast and the quality could get to.
As for where this equipment goes next, the question had to be asked.
I'd be honored to pass this on to the Exploration Place and add it to their collection on broadcasting in Prince George.
And as for where we as an industry go next, that too had to be asked.
The natural progression would be smaller, more compact, higher definition, better quality. We almost are surpassing what a human eye, say, can see, and to be involved in that development, it's been a trip.
Hopefully, we'll appreciate it when we get there, just by knowing more about where we once were. Cliff Shim, CKPG News.